It's always been Creepshow 2.
The one that we have is great value, so it's a little
Creepshow 2 also to me just feels like that perfect 80s time capsule. You know what I mean? Like with the Firebird and the second sequence and all that stuff.
The one that we have is great value, so it's a Walmart brand.
It'll flip your lunch tray.
God bless America.
A super chat in the intro. That's fantastic.
Brandon, what's up, pimp?
What is going on? Happy Saturday. Correct. Saturday.
What were you eating a second ago?
I am still eating ice cream right now as we speak.
That's badass.
I thought the intro was longer, so my fat ass took a little bit longer to eat this, but here we are.
No, dude, you're good. You're good. Eat up, dude. This is a generalized show.
It is the Generalized show. I'm excited.
So Brandon, we already got a bunch of questions tonight. Should I play the new clip for Saturn Video's $5 chat?
That's up to you if you wanna use it up already. That's up to you, man.
We'll play it because $5 is generous. We'll play it, and if we get another super chat, we'll play more.
All right,
so here we go.
It's top 10 slashers. Okay.
Top 10
I think number 10 is going to be Valentine.
Valentine at number 10? Valentine at number 10. Explain yourself. You know how many great slasher films there are, and you just put Valentine in your top 10.
Valentine is a fantastic slasher.
Tell me about it.
What the hell? These are getting more drug induced as they go. I like the ending on there. That's pretty good.
Good morning, Chan says this is about to get filthy. I completely agree.
It's gonna get pretty filthy.
Bronson Wright Wolf with a $2 super chat. He goes, if you listen to W.A.S.P, what's your favorite album? Bronson, that's a great question. I think my favorite album is The Headless Children. If not that, it's The Headless Children without question. That is a masterpiece. One of my favorite records. Brent, are you a heavy W.A.S.P listener or casual?
Not really. I'm not familiar with their albums as a whole, so I really need to. I guess I need to look into their stuff more than I do.
Yeah, the Headless Children's like I love concept records, and the Headless Children's a great concept record. But then the one after that, the Crimson, is it the Crimson Tide? I think the Crimson something. Jesus Christ, that one's good too.
What album is the Ghoulies song on? The Scream Until You Like It, or is that just for the movie?
No, I think that would.
Because I've been for years, I've been looking at recordings on YouTube of that song, and every single version I find has the same little glitch in it. So I'm not sure if that's actually in the song or if everybody's just ripping each other off all these years. But I can't find a good version of that song without this little tiny blip, and it pisses me off.
I think that's on the '86 record.
They did a song on the Leatherface soundtrack too, right? I think they did.
Dude, there's a check this out. Let me pull this up for the audience. Brandon, I need this. Oh, let me get a super chat played for Bronson real quick. We'll give him the Nick one.
Also, the one that was praising Elm Street remake.
I did not fucking praise that movie.
You gotta believe in this. You gotta have hope. But I'll be damned if there aren't some great lines from Freddy in here, if there aren't some great kills, and honestly, I like a lot of shitty movies. So.
Oh man! All right,
Garrett's high-pitched voice sounds the best.
You're the one that likes.
It's like a sock puppet or something.
All right, check out this 12-inch single, dude. Holy shit! Look at this. It's got the ghoulie with the hat on. Blackie Lawless and the ghoulie. I went to the record store today and I looked for W.A.S.P because I only have The Last Command, which has "I'm a wild child, come and love me." Mm-hmm. It's got that. I love that song, but I wanted to get more. But W.A.S.P records are very, very, very collectible, so they're hard to find. So I guarantee you that right there, Brandon, is very difficult to get your hands on.
Absolutely,
especially
it's weird because the fish ghoulie in that photo looks almost like the puppet from Part 3. Doesn't even look like Part 2 to me.
Right
there. It's pretty strange.
Let's see what the chat's saying. Let's see. Just Justin Smith says Christian's not a Metallica fan. That's blasphemous. I'm just not a really big one. You know what I mean? I get it. I respect all day. I think the Black Album is super important. And if I had to tell you what my favorite Metallica record was, it's Ride the Lightning. But I don't listen to a whole lot of Metallica. And I can't stand Saint Anger. I think that's the only time Metallica really tried to be trendy. Oh, we're not going to have solos in our songs because all these new metal bands can't do them. So they just don't have them in their music. You know, it's just when that's a big generalization that I probably shouldn't make, no pun intended, because there were some super talented new metal bands, super talented. But it's just I couldn't stand. I hate the fact that they did Saint Anger. I don't care about the lyrics. Who gives a shit about the lyrics? It's just, you know what I mean? It's just terrible. I hate it. But I did like that record they put out in 2016, Moth into Flame.
Oh, okay.
Not Death Magnetic. The song Moth into Flame is one of my favorite Metallica songs now. That's a fantastic song. I love that song. So I'm just not a big one. You know what I mean? I'm more of an Anthrax guy. I really like Anthrax.
Yeah. The Black Album is where my love for Metallica pretty much ends. Because I can listen to a few things from the 90s and onward here and there, but I'm not a fan of anything. Really, Load, Reload, all that stuff. I'm just not into it.
CHH in a Star Wars shirt. What's going on here? Actually, the shirt was gifted to me, but I'm okay with Star Wars. I love the first. Well, is it technically 4, 5, 6 now, Brandon?
Yeah, but the original trilogy is. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
I like those movies. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, Jaden Christopher says Alice is awesome in Prince of Darkness. Just saw that bad boy for the first time. Jaden, if you watch the movie again, listen extremely closely. When Alice shows up in the movie as the bum, you can hear the Prince of Darkness song playing in the background. But I just ripped that on Radio CHH. If you want to actually go hear the vinyl version of that song, it's awesome. What's up, Fachi? How are you? Jaden's got jokes tonight. Butter.
That's hilarious.
Saint Anger is trash. Even sounds like Lars is drumming on trash can. I mean, I can't imagine what they were thinking. Are you guys Stained fans?
No.
At all?
Not really, no. There was that era in like the early 2000s where Stained was huge, right? And I feel like there was a single every other week. There wasn't, but that's what it felt like. They just got so much radio play. And every new song I heard on WJRR by Stained was this whiny song after whiny song after whiny song. I'm just not a fan of that crap. I've never been a fan of that stuff. And it's just like, it's got to be too much, man.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You should clip Uncle Bill next. I'll ask Uncle Bill if he's fine with that, and I'll gladly do it. Christian, what do you think of the Disney trilogy? Brandon, I actually want to hear your thoughts on that, but let me get to this real quick. Bronson Wright Wolf says, any thoughts on Ozzy Osbourne in Trick or Treat? Brandon, did you hear that Trick or Treat is getting a 4K UHD?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I've been waiting for that for years. I have a bootleg Blu-ray of that movie, and it looks really good, but it's just, I've wanted an official release. What are the announcements on special features, or have there not been announcements yet?
There's none yet.
Hopefully it's not bare bones.
I don't think it will be. I think that they're going to get some stuff.
I wish the guy who played Sammy, was still alive so he could talk about the film, but
yeah, it's sad that he's not with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Let me crank up my light real quick.
How am I looking? Because I feel like my internet's been a little bit weird this week, so I feel like I'm kind of pixelated and glitchy. Am I?
Just a little bit. It's not bad.
Okay,
it's not bad. You're fine. Anyway, $2 super chat. Let's get this gentleman a clip. Audience, do you guys want another clip? Let's see. Screw it.
It's top 10 slashers. Okay.
Top 10 slash.
I think number 10 is going to be Valentine.
Valentine at number 10? Valentine at number 10. Explain yourself. You know how many great slasher films there are, and you just put Valentine in your top 10.
Valentine is a fantastic slasher.
Tell me about it.
Scorned but not bothered. That's awesome.
Dude, the at the end. Explain yourself, duds. Oh man. Anyway, where were we? Oh, here we go. Hey, Planet Dirty, did you know there was a Puppet Master game on Steam? Ordinary level design, but the puppets look spot on and amazing. What is Steam? Is that like computer games?
I think it's that platform where you can like digitally buy and download video games from. I think you can get like the app on your Xbox and stuff.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's in a nutshell what it is.
Yeah, somebody explain that to me if you know, because I'd like to play that. Killer Pizza says favorite punk band. That's a great question. Brandon?
I guess it would be. I guess it would have to be the Stooges, right? I'm not a huge fan of punk in general, but I guess it would be the Stooges. Iggy Pop and the Stooges.
I love Iggy Pop. I'm a massive Iggy Pop fan. I gotta go Ramones. I love the Ramones.
Ah, this is true. Ramones does count. Yeah, it'd probably be Ramones then over
And
Iggy Pop.
the thing I love about the Ramones is they have so many really good songs. My
Mhm.
favorite song is Bonzo Goes to Blitzburg. You've heard it before. Remember the movie School of Rock?
Mhm.
You remember when they have the montage where they show it's like the montage of Jack Black and he's teaching all the kids and stuff, and you hear that song, pick up the pieces, ba ba ba, my brain is hanging upside down. Da. That's my favorite Ramones song.
Hmm.
That's a great record too. The Ramones are fucking awesome. Ben Grimm says, dude from Stain does country now, right? Yeah, Aaron Lewis. And the funny thing, Brandon, there are clips of Aaron Lewis losing his mind on stage because, like, he wanted country music fans. Well, he got them.
Mhm.
And, dude, it's insane how, like, angry he gets at the audience.
Yeah, I've seen clips of him defending Fred Durst from Angry Fans, and I've seen clips of him where he totally looks and sounds like Negan from The Walking Dead. It's insane.
Let me see if I can find. Okay, check this out. I'll show this to the audience. Let me get the ad to leave. Okay. Now, audience, you guys are gonna love this. Okay, this clip is insane. Oh, we have super chat real quick. We got Brandon. Oh, here we a couple of them. Do you guys like Braveheart or the Patriot better? Oh, Brandon, there's a clear answer to this, but I'm gonna see if you get it right.
Patriot.
Absolutely, the Patriot.
I could watch a 7-hour extended cut of that film.
Of the Patriot?
Of the Patriot.
7 hours?
That movie, I could watch that movie endlessly. You know what I mean? Like there's a director's cut and it's fucking awesome.
I feel like the Patriot is just like completely forgotten. Like and granted, I don't talk about it either, but like that's that is a damn good movie.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good 4th of July movie to watch and you don't want to watch Independence Day or Back to the Future or Jaws, The Patriot is a good fucking film to watch, as is Gangs of New York. So those are two little, lesser known 4th of July films you could watch.
Are you a Patriot, Brandon?
I am. Are you?
All right. Well, with that being, am I a Patriot? Let me just put it to you like this.
Listen to me. The next time you have to theater, buy a box of milk duds or sneak them in, and go to the hot butter and drizzle it all into the box of milk duds. It is the best thing you'll ever have in your life.
Favorite summer night. Go ahead, Brandon.
I was going to say, I get so angry when people say they prefer Braveheart over the Patriot. Like I get unacceptably angry about it. As a side
what
note.
do you do? Do you punch people or?
No, I just simmer in quiet silence.
You simmer.
And then walk away. That's about it.
Favorite summer night memory. That's a fantastic question, Creasefold. What is your favorite summer night memory, Brandon?
I have to think about that for a second. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
Favorite summer night memory.
I remember back before Katrina when I was 13, 12, playing in the summertime, playing like, little league ball and going to practice, and we would have like when we'd have batting practice. I remember my wrestling was still like gigantic at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we would play. We had like the coach had the WWF like theme song CD, and he would crank it, and like I would be just like crushing balls in the batting cage, listening to like Goldust's theme and stuff like that, and then getting snow cone. The snow cones were all the rage in like 2001. Everywhere there was a snow cone stand, right? Like everywhere.
Yeah.
And I used to get a chocolate snow cone. You ready for this?
Chocolate? What the fuck?
A chocolate snow cone, you ready for this? Drizzled with condensed milk on top.
No.
And it was delicious. Eagle brand? Dude, it's Eagle brand. What's going on?
Just give me 1 minute. Technical difficulties.
Okay.
My ambiance isn't on, man.
Oh, I see that. You just started leaning in, and it looked like you were coming closer to the camera, like you were going to whisper or something.
I can't fathom a chocolate snow cone. You just kind of flipped my lunch tray a little bit.
That's a clip right there.
Yeah.
You never had a chocolate snow cone? They're delicious.
No, I'll tell you what though. Have you ever had a tiger's blood snow cone flavor?
No, I know what it is, but I never got it.
They're so good. I really suggest it. I think it's like coconut mixed with cherry or some shit. It's a really weird flavor, but it's fantastic.
Well, can you think of a favorite summer night memory?
I'm gonna have to come back to that one. There's so many good ones, and I'm kind of melding them all together at this point. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean. With that being
I'll,
said,
I'll come back to that one. I'll think of a really juicy one.
all right. With that being said,
Literally.
Now this opening credit sequence is great, Christian. Probably one of the best parts about this movie. I don't know if I'm being sarcastic or not. It's doll semen.
Is that really what that is?
Yeah, that's semen.
I'm fucking over the moon that General Mills is giving us Chucky beating it. What can you say?
oh man,
You seem so enthusiastic at the beginning of that clip.
I have resting bitch face. I'm well aware.
Likewise.
Of this.
Yeah.
Love the Ramones' Pet Cemetery. That's a great song, Tangents of Four, but the album Brain Drain is actually one of my least liked Ramones albums. But that song is killer.
What album is Poison Heart on, or is it not on an album?
Poison Heart's on the next one from '92. The name's funky, but that's an amazing record.
Mm.
Let me tell you, that is a amazing record. It's like a really like trippy looking out. Mondo Bizarro, 1992. It's this record, and it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's crazy how good that the Ramones were right towards the end of their career. But Wes Borland hates Aaron Lewis. Dino, what's up, Dino? $5 super chat. Thank you so much. A young security guard must track down diminutive aliens who kill people even as they make their fantasies come true. Rick Sloan. What is that? I know what that is. What is that? Rick Sloan. Damn it, Dino. I'm exhausted. You got me caught off guard.
I'm seeing a lot of Alice in Chains chat in this chat. These people understand me. Christian, I'm disgusted at your vinyl collection.
In a good or a bad way?
Where was the Alice in Chains records at, man?
Well, I think if I were to try to get like original stuff from them, it'd be really difficult because in the early 90s, to get stuff that was pressed back then was probably very limited, or you have to import it.
Oh, yeah.
And I really don't like reissues. Like, I like getting old school. You know what I mean? Like, I'm old school.
Mhm.
So I don't go out of my way to get reissue stuff unless I just have to.
Reissues are very strange.
I don't like that 180 gram vinyl stuff.
Well, I
But,
mean, the masters are being made from digital. They're making stuff from digital masters now, right? They're making new glass plates from the digital masters, right? So it's not even, that's weird to me.
Sometimes, though, they'll go to the original master tapes and remaster it for vinyl specifically.
Mhm.
The Hellraiser soundtrack I got was reissued and remastered from the master tapes, and that vinyl sounds phenomenal. Stellar. Let's give Dino a little super one. Here we go.
The best part of eating corn on the cob is when like shit sprays out of it and you hit somebody in the eye with the water. There's so many of them. I'm forgetting about them already.
Anthony O'Donnell, do you guys like 1981's Final Exam? And did you guys get the new 4K UHD? I'm getting it. Mine's showing up in a day or two. Have you seen Final Exam, Brandon?
I have not.
It's not a bad little slasher film. It's really not. There's actually like a really crazy prank that if somebody tried to pull today, you'd be shot and killed. But it's not a bad little slasher film, man. It's got a really cool poster. I'm really excited to see how it looks in 4K. I forgot what company put that out. I think it's Dark Force, I think. Yeah, but that's cool. Thank you, Anthony. Let's give Anthony one.
It's always been Creepshow 2. The one that we have is great value, so it's a Creepshow 2 also to me just feels like that perfect 80s time capsule. You know what I mean? Like with the Firebird and the second sequence and all that stuff. The one that we have is great value, so it's a Walmart brand. It'll flip your lunch tray.
This is a great question, Brandon. Do you guys consider Alice in Chains grunge, and do you like Lane Staley? Now, before you answer this, Brandon, this is like a debate I see a lot. Is grunge a genre of music? Is grunge a culture? Is grunge a sound? Is grunge a time frame? And I'm not claiming to have the answers, but I enjoy hearing people's thoughts on this. So please take it away and be as elaborate with your answers you can. Obviously, you're an Alice in Chains fan, but if somebody says they're the best grunge band, do you agree with that? Do you say, well, where are you at with all that?
I don't know, because I feel like all the staples of grunge. Well, let me start this off by saying, for anybody that doesn't know, Alice in Chains is my favorite band of all time. Lane Staley is my favorite singer of all time. So with that said, when I think of grunge, the top bands are like, people say Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, stuff like that, right? Those are what people think of when they think of grunge. But to me, all four of those bands sound nothing alike. So I don't really know what it means to be grunge or what classifies grunge. Is it a subgenre? Is it a genre in and of itself? Is it a subgenre of metal? Is it a subgenre of rock? I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's more likely just a time period that encapsulates that kind of that Seattle sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know how else to really quantify it.
I lean towards what you're saying as well, but like Brandon, this is what you're not going to like with me.
Mhm.
I can't stand 90s grunge culture sound, whatever it is. I don't consider Alice in Chains that. I don't know what grunge is. I just know I don't like the word. I don't like the term because I know that whatever that is what took away all my Warrants and White Snakes and the bands that I really like. But I will say Alice in Chains is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
They are super talented.
Mhm.
And I don't dislike Nirvana. It's not really that. It's the wave of what was dubbed as the grunge era. Like all the MTV saying no more Warrant, no more Slaughter. Are you kidding me? Slaughter was like so fucking amazing, and they got
hair
their
metal's over. Out with the old. Yep.
So whenever I hear the term, I get a negative connotation because it took away what I consider to be amazing music. And that's just my opinion. Like there are people that say, Christian, like you got to get off this hair metal crap. And I get it, but like, that's what I like. But Alice in Chains is phenomenal. And Dirt is what I consider to be possibly the best record of the 90s. At least top 5, at least top 5. Because like when I think of records, I think of like, that's a masterpiece. I think that's Dirt is a masterpiece. It's so good.
Yeah.
Down in a Hole is like one of the most well-written songs I've ever heard.
Oh yeah. Every track on that album is just dark and brooding and depressing and fantastic and everything wrapped at once. I love that fucking album. That album is fan. I need to do a deep dive on that album.
Oh, and in case anybody hasn't seen your video on it, tell people who that is on the front.
Oh, I forget her name off the top of my head, but the girl who plays in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, there's a girl who plays the girlfriend of the brother in the movie. What is her name in the film? Doesn't matter.
I'll Google it.
She's the chick who Barry says, does she blah, 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 and walk backwards or whatever the hell. What's the quote? My brain is not working tonight.
Her name is Beth in the movie. Mariah O'Brien.
So she's the girl on the album cover of Dirt. She's the chick in the Dirt, dead, which is insane to me. I didn't find that out until 3 or 4 years ago, and it fucking totally blew my mind.
That is crazy.
That's such a weird. That's just such a weird thing, man.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, dude, I actually became a really big Brother Kane fan because of Curse of Michael Myers. Their debut record from '93 is my favorite. It's really, really good. But yeah. And do you like I read I misread the question. And do you like post era Lane Staley? It took some getting used to, but like I really like that song bow na 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 down na 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 na.
Check my brain.
Check my brain. Took me a second.
Yeah. That that's the most old school Alice in Chains sounding song of the new era, I think. That was the perfect song to bring them back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I first heard it, like to me it was undeniably good. Like I wanted to be like, no. But I was like,
Yeah.
God damn it
Yeah.
it sounded
It's
so good.
the fact that Jerry Cantrell and Staley were pretty much dual lead singers, you know, for every record up to that point, gave him a very big chance at a revival, and it worked. You know what I mean? Because when they heard the new song "Check My Brain" come out, because that was the first song off Black Gives Way to Blue, it sounded like Alice in Chains because you heard Jerry Cantrell again, one half of the original duo. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah, it was
yeah,
amazing.
I like. I think it's okay. Every album that comes out, I'm always like hoping it'll sound more like the Staley era, but I know it's never going to. But
No.
it's sort of, it's almost a missed opportunity, because what is the guy's name? William Duvall? Is that his name? The guy who replaced Staley? Let me look that up real quick.
I
Give
don't
me
know.
1 second. Anyways, I'm probably saying the wrong name here. There was a singer a couple of years ago. Yeah, William Duvall is the new singer's name. There's a guy who sounded exactly like Lane Staley, in sort of
This
the
is
same way that the
real quick,
sorry, go
Brandon.
ahead.
This is like the best flavor monster I think I've ever had. This ultra strawberry dreams, guys. Just get this if you haven't tried it. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, there's this, like, you know, the same way that Journey recruited that new singer because he sounded so much like the old singer.
Yeah, but really quick. I don't want to get off on a tangent. You can imitate. You can never, ever duplicate the great
Absolutely.
Steve Perry.
Absolutely. But there was a guy who sounded almost damn like Staley, and he looked like him too. And I'm pretty sure he auditioned for the band and they gave it to William Duvall instead. Not sure how that would have played out, but when I saw that dude's audition, I was like, dude, they really should have hired that other guy. It would have been a total resurgence, I think, more than it is now.
Yeah.
What?
I want to answer this real quick from CR. Are you a fan of Misfits? If so, do you like the Graves era? CR, if you watch my channel, I literally am posting a music video cover that me and my brother are doing of Saturday Night from the Famous Monsters record. So yes, I love the Graves era. Low key, Famous Monsters is my favorite Misfits album. So be ready for that, CR. Turn the notifications on for my channel so you can see that. We did a good job. My brother's a drummer, and I do all the guitars, and I sing and all that, and it came out really good. So be ready for that tomorrow. More than likely, CR, if not Monday, but be ready for that. Brandon, I want to ask the chat a question. Let me catch up with the chat. I'm looking at all the comments. All right, guys, I'm going to scroll up. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are all awesome. Let me ask the chat something. M85 says Danzig era is the only era. I love Danzig M85. I fucking love Danzig. I was crushed today when I couldn't find Danzig's debut record. I need it. And by the way, Brandon, in my opinion, the best produced record from the legendary producer, what's his name? The guy who produced so many great records. Hold on. You'll know the guy's name when I say it. Who produced? Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin. You know, he's that is my favorite record that Rick Rubin has ever been the producer on. The debut Danzig record to me is insane.
Yeah.
It sounds like it literally could have been released any year, still today. It's timeless. You know, it's timeless to me. Anyway, so let me ask the chat. Thank you, guys. Let me ask the chat this. Let me ask Brandon this. We're talking about, and guess what, Brandon? I'm going to show us really quick. I got to show you something really cool up here in a second. So be ready for that. Let me ask the chat this. Let me ask Brandon this. In your opinion, when a band has to replace a singer, whether it be quitting, whether it be passing away, it's difficult. What, in your opinion, at the end of the day, you can't have a tie. You can't say, well, it's close. I got to go. But you have to have a definitive answer for me. What is the greatest singer replacement under any circumstance in rock history? The greatest singer replacement ever. To me, there's clearly an answer.
I feel like we're going to say the same thing.
Do you want me to say it?
You could say it.
To me, I'll break this down, okay? I'm a Sammy Hagar fan. I prefer the Hagar era, but that doesn't mean that the Roth era is less than. It's personal taste. But to me, in my humble opinion, the greatest singer replacement in history that elevated the band to a height that was unlike any other was Brian Johnson.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. We were going to say the same thing then, for sure.
Look, I wanted to go Bruce Dickinson, but I'm gonna be dead ass, Brandon. Personally, I think Paul Di'Anno is a great singer, and I think Killers is one of Iron Maiden's best records to this day. But I think Brian Johnson, that was fate. And not only did he elevate the band, but it's his voice was so perfect for the band. I don't know. I just do. When I think of AC/DC, I think of Razor's Edge, and I think of that as the greatest comeback album ever. You know, because AC/DC never went anywhere, but they weren't selling millions of records anymore. You know, Heatseeker was, I don't even know if it went gold. You know, Fly on the Wall, which I love. I don't even know if Fly on the Wall went gold. Flick of the Switch. These are fantastic records. I don't think they did anything. But when Razor's Edge came out, Brandon, it rocked the fucking house. Thunderstruck. Are You Ready? Which I think is such an anthem. Are You Ready is one of the best AC/DC anthems I've ever heard. But Razor's Edge to me is the greatest comeback album in history. And you agree, I assume.
Did you so do you prefer the Brian Johnson era over Bon Scott?
Unequivocally.
I had 2 questions for you. That's one of 2 questions about it.
Unequivocally, because I always pre Brian Johnson, it's great, but Brian Johnson made this band sound like a stadium band. Yeah. They went from sounding like this Australia. They're Australian, right? The guys from AC/DC.
Yes. Yeah.
They went from sounding like this, like cool, like listen to this Australian band that's making waves, blah blah blah. But when Johnson came in, I feel like the whole thing went to another level, and they became they just sounded worldwide. They sounded worldwide, you know. But I wanted to say really quick, Jimmy Jameson in Survivor would have been my second pick. Doug Easter, I see you. God bless you, Doug Easter. Jimmy Jameson is one of my favorite singers ever. But I've got more to say, because even though I think Brian Johnson is the most unequivocal of all time, there are so many more I'd like to bring up. But Brandon, go ahead. I know you got some stuff you want to say about this.
My second question was, when you were a kid and you heard AC/DC on the radio, or your parents played it, whenever you heard it, did you notice that there was 2 different singers? Because as a kid, I didn't realize that they were 2 separate people. Even though they sound nothing alike, I didn't notice it as a kid.
I did, because my uncle raised me on every time. I used to, when we were before Katrina, my family, we all lived next to each other, and my uncle used to take me to the brass hockey games every weekend, and he would put on Back in Black cassette. He was a cassette guy, still has all of them. He gives me some sometimes. When he would put Back in Black on, he called me Bubba, because my brother couldn't say the word brother when we were little, and so my family still calls me Bubba. And my uncle would say, Bubba, this was when Brian Johnson, when he took over, Bubba, they went to the top, Bubba. This record, when it was one of the biggest selling records ever. So I was raised with, I never got the chance to blissfully experience it the way you're talking about. I was educated as I'm hearing this. And, you know,
we have similar backgrounds with our uncles, because my uncle was a goddamn rockhead too. somehow I avoided that Bon Scott, Brian Johnson conversation for a while.
Dude, I want to talk about more of these singers because the chat is bringing up amazing stuff right now. John Kyle Stent with a $10 super chat. Christian, there is something I always wanted to ask you. From about 25 meters away in high VIS, have you ever been mistaken for Jeff Fahey? Well, the hair mostly. Do I look like Jeff Fahey to you, Brandon?
Not really. No. Let me look him up again.
I take it as a compliment. Jeff Fahey's a good-looking dude.
Maybe there's an angle somewhere.
Don't scratch the guitar.
Thank
you, Johnny.
No,
If I shave, do I need to shave?
I don't think so. I don't know. No.
Hey, Johnny, man, it's good to see you. God bless, Johnny. I hope you're doing great, brother. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Here's your clip.
It's top 10 slashers. Okay.
10 slash.
I think number 10 is going to be Valentine.
Valentine at number 10? Valentine at number 10. Explain yourself. You know how many great slasher films there are, and you just put Valentine in your top 10.
Valentine is a fantastic slasher.
Tell me about it.
I just love that the chat's talking music tonight, Brandon. This is awesome. Justin Smith brings up something interesting. Every AC/DC album sounds the same, though. You're right. But for AC/DC, that's what I personally want. Granted, I love, on the other flip side of the coin, I also love when bands mature, right? And they take risks. I'm gonna throw the chat for a loop. Brandon, I might throw you for a loop. Are you a Rush fan?
I'm not a huge Rush fan, no.
Well, never mind then. I was gonna say for the chat, if you're a big Rush fan, as they experimented more with synthesizers, Power Windows is one of my favorite records. It's probably my favorite Rush record, and it's disgustingly heavy on synth. To the point where like the hardcore Rush fans, they all checked out by 85. But that's my favorite. I think it's a beautiful sounding record. Yeah, Doug, you're right. It's Jimmy Jameson. Rest in peace to the great Jimmy Jameson. Oh God, we've got to talk about this, Brandon. I got to be honest with you. There's two records after Dio left in 86 and 87. The Eternal Idol, and then the one before that, I want to say Glenn Hughes sang one of them. Those two records are actually my all-time favorite. I gotta look this up because I'm gonna sound like an idiot if I don't just Black Sabbath. And the sad thing is, Brandon, these records are amazing and nobody listens to them. They don't know they exist. Seventh Star in 1986. Let's see. Let me see who sang on it. Yes, Glenn Hughes sang on Black Sabbath, the 86 record. Brandon, I need you to go listen to this record. It's called Seventh Star. It's from 1986. Glenn Hughes, one of the greatest vocalists ever. There's a song called Danger Zone that'll kick your ass. It's so good. And then Eternal Idol, the one after that in 87, is just as good. The opening song is called The Shining. And I don't know if it's about the movie, but it kind of, I feel like it kind of is. The Eternal Idol is a fucking masterpiece. These records are great. I mean, I swear to Christ.
Yeah.
But the guy who sang on the Eternal Idol has passed away. I forgot the guy's name. I think he went on to sing in Badlands after that. But anyway, to answer the question about Ozzy or Dio, to me, there's no contest. Dio is the heavy metal god. And I like Ozzy a lot, but I prefer his solo material way more than the old Black Sabbath stuff. To me, it's just too basic, and I'm over it. Like, I'm so over Paranoid and War Pigs. And they have a record called Technical Ecstasy, I think. That was pretty good, but it was right before Ozzy left. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me look up the record. Black Sabbath. Nerdy Night. Yeah, Technical Ecstasy. That was a record, I think, right before Ozzy, right after Ozzy left. I like that record. But no, again, Brandon, nobody on earth listens to these records but me.
Mhm.
I'm weird. I love to find like records that just like didn't do anything, didn't sell, but I like. Now, Brandon, have you ever heard the record with Ian Gillan on vocals? It's got a demon baby on the cover from '83. He only did one record, and it was a train wreck. The tour was a train wreck. Everybody was drunk. Everybody was high. The movie Spinal Tap was inspired from the tour of this Black Sabbath record.
I don't think I've ever heard that record. I think I've
Dude,
seen the album cover, but I don't think I've ever heard it.
Born Again. It's fucking disturbing looking. Let me pull it up for you. And it's mixed horribly, Brandon. It's all the mids are dimed out on the record.
Mm.
The mids are completely dimed out. It sounds terrible. And then the reason it sounds terrible is because apparently the bass player, Geezer Butler, like went into the studio after with the producer and like, we're going to remix this whole album. And he was high remixing the album with the producer. And so he just dimed all the bass and mids in the record. But look at this album art. It's a demon baby.
Oh yeah, that does look familiar.
It's not a bad record songwriting wise. It's really weird though, Brandon. Like it's not shit that would ever be on the radio. You know. Oh man. And people are talking about Dio and Rainbow. God damn, Richie Blackmore is one of the greatest guitar players ever. But anyway, I don't want to. We can take a break from music. This has been fun. And a lot of Joey Belladonna and also singer Yam. Yeah, but the thing is, Justin Smith, I like the guy that did the record in '93 from Armored Saint. His name's slipping me.
You want to hear something crazy about Sabbath?
Go for it.
And shut me up if I've told this story before, but 2001, I was 14. It was my first Ozfest, West Palm Beach, Florida. And that year for Ozfest, it wasn't Ozzy headlining the tour. It was Black Sabbath. So I got to see the original Sabbath in 2001, all 4 original members. And it was insane. You know what I mean? I've never been the biggest Black Sabbath fan. I've always been more of an Ozzy solo fan, more so than Black Sabbath. But it was an amazing show. The whole set was like a castle. They had flames. It helped that it was like storming out by the time they started. It was amazing. So just throwing that out there real quick. I had to throw that out there, man. Fucking nuts.
I wish I could. I wish I could.
Fucking nuts, man.
I would love to see Tommy Iommi live. Just hear him play, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Brandon, I got some I don't want to say fan mail, but a viewer sent me some goodies that he wanted me to have. And I'll keep his name private because like he wrote me a note and everything, and I don't think he wants his information out there. He seems like a pretty private guy. If you're watching this, man, and if you're watching this and you don't mind, I'll say your name, but he knows who he is. I've talked to him. Thank you so much. First thing he told me was, Christian, I got the Dawn of the Dead super deluxe box set, and I had this version I'm not going to use, and I'm more than happy to let you have it if you want it. I was like, dude, of course, I'll give it a good home. Look at this steel. Let me make myself big for a second. Look at this steelbook for Dawn of the Dead. It's got zombie on the front.
Oh man, there it is. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's hardcore.
It's XT Video NSM Records. So I think this is German. 2017. Look at that.
Yeah. I love that logo.
I know. I love like that it's called Zombie.
Yeah.
And that's why people wonder, like, why is it called Zombie 2 in some markets if it's just Lucio Fulci Zombie?
Which cut of the movie is on that version right there? Is it the Argento one?
This is the complete cut.
Okay.
Whatever that means. But are you ready for this, Brandon? Watch this. You ready?
Yeah. Very nice.
Look at that.
Very nice.
It's this complete cut. It's 156 minutes. 185.1. Yeah. So I can't wait to watch this. Thank you, man. If you're watching this, this is the coolest steelbook I've ever seen. But check this out, Brandon. He sent me some more stuff. A press kit with lobby
Oh,
cards from
man.
Halloween 6.
Nice.
Let's look at these.
Dude, that's awesome. There's the Beth right there.
Like, if I met these actors, like, I would bring one of these to get signed.
Yeah, fucking A. Look how nice and like high gloss those are, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the cameras, and my camera's not doing it justice. These are amazing. Oh, there's Donald.
Dude, that's like frameable right there.
Oh, my God, it really is. So look what it says right here. Mitch Ryan and Donald Pleasance in Joe Chappelle's Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, a Dimension film release, copyright 1995, photo by Kent Miles.
Dude, that's like the sickest picture so far.
Are you ready?
Damn. There's our boy.
I've never seen this image before. Look, he's looking right at the camera.
Yeah. He knows, man.
Wow. Oh, shit, Brandon.
Yeah, I've always loved that picture with the silo in
too.
the background. That's
What is that?
fantastic.
Is that like a water tower thing?
I think it's the grain silo from the farm he's at in that scene.
Oh, okay. I always thought it
After
was
he
a water. I thought it was a water tower. Oh, look at this. This is like Joe Chappelle talking to him. This is behind the scenes.
That's awesome. Dude, the fanny pack. Joe Chappelle, like that was 95, right? When they were filming, but he is totally in like 1988 right there. That guy.
Dude, so
Those
yeah, these
bleach
lobby,
wash jeans.
these lobby
That's-
cards are amazing. But it doesn't end there. Let me put that. I'm gonna frame some of these. I'm gonna frame that picture of Donald. I mean, dude, I've talked about this a bajillion times, and I know we have, but I just can't not say it. Donald in Halloween 6, like there's a cadence to him in his older age
Mhm.
that to me, you just listen a little bit closer when he talks, right? And you really, it's like, man, I just love that he's in that movie. I love that he's in that movie.
Mhm.
You know, there's
Yeah.
something special about him in Halloween 6 that I just.
Absolutely.
Are you ready?
Do it. Oh, you got it. Good.
Yeah, he hooked me up with all these magazines. I'm going to show you. And I knew you'd like that because you have this.
Yeah.
That's so cool that House 2 has a comic book.
I'm so glad it's only one issue also. Makes it even better.
I'll save the best for last, but here we
Oh,
go.
fuck. Dude, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, he knew I loved Nightmare 5, so
That looks like it's in really good condition too.
it
That
is.
magazine.
This is like a book about Pennywise and stuff. So this is really cool.
I see scary stories. Yeah, that's cool. That's trippy. Nice.
You're gonna like this.
Dude, fucking A.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
I'm with you, dude. Like I don't know if I should admit this on air, but and Sydney actually agreed with me too. When we watch City of Angels, dude, I think I like it more. than the
Oh,
first
no.
one.
Yeah, it's easy to do, man. I go back and forth, but I usually tend to prefer City of Angels.
Dude, there's like a style to the second one with Iggy and everything. That's
Yeah, there's something crazy intoxicating about part 2, even with all its faults, man.
yeah.
It's real quick. Justin asked about how many Ozfests I've been to. I've been to 3, Justin. That's how many. Unfortunately, I didn't go to any more after 2003. Also, shout out to Tom Wynn in the chat. Tom Wynn in the chat, sound off. That's Soul Reaper. One of my best friends since grade school is in the chat for some reason. So,
Oh, dude, what's
that's
up?
cool.
We got a few more, Brandon.
Oh man,
Tales from the Hood.
menace to everybody. That's
I love
What-
these. I mean, I got my magazine collect. There's nothing like horror magazines, dude. There's nothing like them. What are you gonna say? I'm sorry.
no. I was just agreeing with you.
This is cool. Fantasy Yearbook 1982. Ew. Dude, this is sick. Famous Monsters. This is old.
Wow.
This is like old Famous Monsters magazine. Eerie. I've never heard of that, but it looks really cool. Oh, the back's cool too. I got two more. Madman. I've been wanting to see that movie. It went out of print on Screen Factory. Yeah, it went out of print on Screen Factory. And last but certainly not least, now this blew me away. He left me a note, and the note said, this has been in storage, man, and it's in pristine condition. I'm going to send it over to you. I met her in 1989 at a convention, and she signed the magazine for me. All right. You ready?
Oh, holy shit.
Heather Langenkamp autograph, Fangoria. Dude, she's hot as heck. She's smoking in this dress right here, dude.
When was that autographed? You said
he got it autographed from her in 1989.
Holy shit! So that's like vintage. That's insane.
Look at that. Are you kidding me?
That's fucking crazy.
It blew me away, man. It blew me away how generous people can be, and I just make these videos on the internet, and when you get a letter and somebody who just says like, hey man, like honestly, like, I'm at a point in my life where a lot of my friends and stuff, they either just move on or they start families and they get out of talking about horror and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when I find channels, and I believe he even mentioned your channel too in the note, he's like, when I find channels like you and things like that and your friends, and it keeps me like so in it, and it's like, no, this is all I can still like. There's people out there that love this still, and it's awesome. And so he's like, dude, I don't need it. Like, I just take it. So, I mean, I got to frame this thing, dude. I have got to frame that and, put that on the Freddy wall back there. So, I mean, this is just amazing. I just can't believe I've got Heather's autograph now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, Christian, off topic real quick. I got to interrupt before I forget. Thank you for the wax melts. Everybody in the house loves them, and the fucking Demons 4K looks amazing. I'm stoked to watch it, so appreciate that too.
Did you?
I made unboxing videos for all that shit, but I haven't released the videos yet, but they're coming next week.
So. Well, did you notice? I didn't tell you this because I wanted to be a surprise, but did you notice that not only did you get the Metropole ticket, but you get the birthday invitation for part 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that even more than the Metropole ticket.
I actually forgot that you were giving me that, and I opened the box. Like, oh fuck, it's that's in here. So,
oh dude, I knew you would. I was like, man, he needs this. He needs this because what was going to happen with it? This is the situation. I bought the Severin Blu-ray 4K scans that came out because the 4K version was just super expensive at the time. And then my buddy Kyle, he's like, hey man, I just got you this. It was my birthday or something, I forgot. But he's like, I'm gonna send you the Demons. I know you love this. I'm gonna send you those on 4K. And so I was telling City, I was like, I'm gonna throw Brandon a little something, because he helped he did the wax melt team. He didn't mind us using his IP, as it were. And I was gonna send you the Blu-ray version. And I was like, he's already got Blu-rays. I mean, they're 4K scan upgrades and stuff, but let me give him the 4K version. But I didn't want to get rid of my 4K version. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to order another one. And then I'll just send him I'll send him the one that I have. So I just ordered another Demons 4K set that one. And I sent you the one that I already had. So mine actually showed up today. So I replaced it. So, but dude, it's like, they look so good.
Yeah,
I mean, they look fucking phenomenal. And Demons 2 is just insanely good on 4K. And the soundtrack just blows my balls. How good the soundtrack is on Demons 2.
Fucking A.
Thank you, Metal Maniac. Yeah, Tall Man.
I haven't seen that before.
I've had it for years.
He's pretty gnarly looking, yeah.
Yeah. This is from Creation X with a K.
Very cool.
Yeah. Cool dude are in the chat. Hey guys, I'm in Thailand now.
Yeah.
Bo Pangburn, wondering what you guys thought about the movie Blood and Honey. I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
I have not. I have no interest in it really either. So
What do you mean you don't have any interest in Winnie the Pooh,
I
Blood
just,
and Honey?
it doesn't. The trailer, I was like, it's weird because like before that movie was a thing, I remember seeing those silicone masks for sale.
Mm-hmm.
So I just relate them to that mask website. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't see them as the actual creatures they're supposed to be because I had seen them before. As stupid as that sounds, that's the way it is for me.
Feeling on Gore Zone magazine. I used to have a subscription when I was 11. Do you remember Gore Zone, Brandon?
I have a couple of them, vintage ones, but I don't think I ever remember seeing them in stores contemporarily. So
I don't either.
yeah.
I'm trying to see. I think I have one or two. I don't want to waste too much time, but this isn't Gore Zone, Brandon, but just look at this. This is horror video,
Dude,
but
that's
it's
amazing.
it's I guess it's under the Fangoria umbrella.
Mhm.
But look, it's just horror video. And I love these old magazines, man, because of the ads and stuff in them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Brandon, look. This is exactly right. Look who's right here.
Yeah, there's that picture, man. That's called fate right there. That's actually a weirder shot. That's not the one I used for my remaster. That's like a different angle.
Dude.
That's like from the top down a little.
Did you say you actually hadn't been able to even see Black Roses before?
I have not. Yeah, still no.
Dude,
I need to get the Blu-ray.
You want to know the God's honest truth, Brandon? And the chat's gonna crucify me. They're going to crucify me when I say this.
You like it better than Trick or Treat?
No. I'm not saying the movie's better, but the soundtrack is every bit as good.
Oh.
Because the Fastway soundtrack is the chat's gonna crucify me. But if there's some people out there that really are familiar with it, Brandon, Lizzie Borden is on the soundtrack for Black Roses, and they have a song called "Me Against the World," and it fucking slams. And then the song that you remastered. Tell me that's not and that's the Great Carmine piece on drums.
Yeah. That's
Tell
great.
me that song isn't fucking insanely catchy.
It was an epic. It's an epic.
So I think it's a very close call, but I think people underestimate Black Roses. I think Black Roses' soundtrack is insanely good. Insanely good.
Like I said before, is that creature's design looks familiar. I feel like I'm gonna finally buy it, watch it, and I'm gonna be like, oh man, I remember renting this. Like I'm gonna have some kind of a flashback. Hopefully. Hey Planet, what's your best worst movie ever? Best worst Shock 'em Dead. It's always Shock 'em Dead with these questions for me. That is the best worst movie.
I'm going to go with Troll 2 still. I love me some Troll 2. Brandon, did you see that I had the Troll soundtrack?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, my vinyl video earlier today, guys. If you never saw it, it was a little bit of a train wreck. I didn't realize that my battery on my computer, basically, your battery, your lithium, I don't know, drains out of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like it has no life if it's not plugged in, and it died 5 minutes into doing my stream, and then I had to grab my phone. My phone was dead, so then I was trying to plug up my computer to let it. It was a shit show. Anyway, I did show that I had the Troll vinyl soundtrack.
Nice. I didn't know that was on vinyl. That's cool. I was popping in and out of that video off and on.
Yeah,
but I must have missed that part.
I didn't anticipate a whole lot of people of my audience. Like we have 91 people here tonight, and I had like 50 for that.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's a little bit more niche. Not everybody that's into horror and Blu-rays is into physical media the same way as like vinyls and stuff. But there's some crossover there. But
was that released back in the 80s, or was it like a reissue kind of thing?
No, like if you I'm telling you, I don't like buying. If I can help it, I never get something that's gotten re-released or reissued.
That's
So
that's fucking crazy that Troll would have a vinyl back then.
Well, you know, I was at the record store today and I saw Carrie, I saw Christine, I saw The Omen. But the problem is I really like I have so many records now. I truly only just try to buy them if I know I'm gonna spin them and listen to them.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm not gonna really listen to The Omen. I'm not gonna listen to Carrie's soundtrack. I'm just not gonna listen to them, so I didn't get them. I ended up just getting a lot of bands that I wanted. But next time I got a couple vinyl scores, but maybe next time I go, I'll grab a couple more. They had some that I was like, maybe I'll grab this. I'm not sure, but yeah, dude, I saw Psycho 3 there on vinyl, and I was like, that's awesome. But like, Psycho 3's music isn't like there's some cool dun dun dun. There's a cool little piano piece in that, but it's just like I'm not gonna ever really spin that. So
Yeah. I have a little story about vinyl real quick, and I'll shut up after you finish your thought, Christian.
No, go right ahead. I'm just
I
rambling.
was just gonna say I was at the flea market, or maybe the second to last time I was at the flea market where I get all those VHS tapes from, and one of the vendors there had at least from the exterior, he had a bagged, pristine looking copy of Led Zeppelin 4, self-titled Led Zeppelin, and there was like a price tag of 30 on it. I'm not sure what that album goes for in good quality or not, but I was going to get them. Like, that's really cool. And I asked if I could open it up and look at the vinyl itself. And I'm pretty sure it was an original release, but there was the biggest fucking scratch all the way across the record. Like you could feel it, like just all the way across. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this bullshit? So I was polite. I put it back. I said, thanks and stuff. But I was just like, why would you even try to sell that for anything?
Yeah,
I'm not sure if Damaged, the original release of that album, would be worth anything, but like this was a unplayable scratch to me. That's what it looked like. You know what I mean? Like just one of those, like somebody dug something into it and fucking scratched it all the way across.
Oh God.
The cover was amazing. It looked brand new almost, but it was just, I was like, what the fuck? $30.
Oh man. Brandon, we did get an announcement of the Burning coming to 4K. Are you a Burning fan? Or are you gonna pass on that?
I'm a huge Burning fan. I'm not sure if I'll get the 4K. I might though. The Burning is so fucking good. Like I said before, Friday the 13th is my favorite horror franchise, but The Burning is better than Friday 1 through 3. Sleepaway Camp 1 is better than Friday 1 through 3. And this is coming from a guy who's Jason Voorhees is his favorite horror icon. Friday the 13th is his favorite franchise. The Burning is so good. I don't know if I can skimp out on the 4K. As much as I fucking hate the upgrade, I feel like 4K is such a waste 90% of the time, but I might just have to do it.
I think you should get it because you got to remember too, you'll probably see a significant jump because you got to remember this was really before the advent of 2K scan or 4K scan Blu-rays. It was just 1080p's because The Burning was like one of the first 10 titles I think that Scream Factory did.
Yeah, that's because my copy is old as fuck now. Like that was what, 2015?
Yeah,
that came out?
Let me grab it.
Yeah. Tom Wynn, if you're still in the chat, sound off. By the way, everybody, real quick, Tom, the Soul Reaper guy, is the guy who introduced me to Dead Alive for the first time. He brought the VHS tape over to my house and we watched it, and I've never laughed so hard at that scene where the fucking monkey gets knocked out by the skunk ape thing, whatever it's called. That was the funniest shit in the planet at the time. That movie was great.
So Brandon, I don't know if anybody else does this but me. I love hype stickers. If, as a matter of fact, like if I'm wanting a record, if there's like 3 or 4 of them, I will see if any of them have kept the hype stickers on it, you know, like featuring the hits, blah, 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 blah. Like I love that. So when Scream Factory was releasing their movies and on the shrink wrap, they'd have a sticker about the movie, like on the shrink wrap, not the movie, I would carefully remove that sticker from the shrink wrap and then put it on the case. So I still have my hype sticker on my
nice.
Burning Blu-ray.
You madman.
Yeah. But 2013.
Holy shit.
This is 10 years old.
Wow. Yes, I guess no matter what, it's got to look better than that.
Like I said, this was before really anybody was doing 2K. I mean, it was out there.
Yeah.
But this was, you know, and for Blu-ray, because I want to say Anchor Bay was probably doing really high res scans, but it was just stuff coming out on DVD.
Mhm.
But doing it for Blu-ray wasn't really, I don't know. Granted, like I'm saying, this is a 1080p, so I actually think you'll see some really good HDR upgrade on The Burning. As a matter of fact, like when people have asked me, hey, are you going to get The Burning? I honestly have said, honestly, I actually think this is a title, if you don't get a lot of 4Ks, this should be one you probably should get, because I think you're going to see a significant bump in quality, because we're going from a 10-year-old Blu-ray transfer. I think you're going to be pretty surprised how good The Burning is going to look. I think it's going to be a sleeper hit, quite frankly. I think it's going to get rave reviews. I think people are going to be really happy. That's just my guess.
Good.
Let's see. Let's see what we got. Brandon, people are arguing with you. The Burning is awesome, but better than Friday 1 through 3. No. Justin Smith says The Burning is better than Friday the 13th Part 1. I agree. Not 2 and 3. Well, why do you? I'm curious. What is it about The Burning that edges out Friday the 13th 2 and 3? Because those are great movies.
They're fantastic, and I'm not trying to put them down. Really, it's just I think The Burning does a better job than those first 3 did. The Burning has The Burning, as hokey as it is, and we've talked up and down about how good the kills are in that film, the effects and all that stuff too. That's not what I'm talking about, but there's a really weird, frenzied vibe to The Burning. It feels very frenetic and like unnerving, and it kind of feels like stuff's never really stable. I feel like I'm not making any sense here, but there's a really weird vibe to that film that the first 3 Fridays don't really have. I think The Burning has a better sense of like looming danger all around.
I was going to say
Friday 1 through 3.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a sense of and I don't know if it's because of the indie feel of the movie, but there is some sort of a feel of like a uncomfortable danger to the movie.
Exactly.
Of The Burning.
Like, I feel like you could take on Pamela Voorhees or Sackhead Jason or even Manic Hillbilly Part 3 Jason to an extent. I feel like I wouldn't want to take on Cropsey.
No,
that makes any sense. Yeah,
absolutely. Brandon, I'm ready for you to finally see the light, though, and say to yourself, like, Brandon, let me just spit some. Let me spit for a second. Friday the 13th Part 1 is, in my opinion, easily the second best Friday the 13th movie behind the final chapter. Dude, the first Friday the 13th is so spooky, and it's such a nicely paced slasher film. It's the fact, like, dude, movies don't do this anymore. The scene where Alice is in the cabin by herself. There's not much music going on, and she's making coffee, and you can just feel shit is about to go down. I think Cunningham did a phenomenal job on the first Friday the 13th movie. Phenomenal.
He did do a good job.
That used to be my least favorite, and every year, the original Friday the 13th, every single year, it crept higher and higher. Then it eventually outdid the second one to me. I love Friday the 13th, the first one, so fucking much.
Yeah.
But The Burning's great. I feel you. There's a danger with The Burning. There's like this authentic, just like grittiness to the, and I wonder if the 4K will amplify that or make it just look too clean. I don't know. That's something we'll see.
Yeah.
Not that it's not a matter of it's not a matter of, oh, it's going to look bad that it looks good, but I almost wonder if upscaling it I almost wonder if the incredible upscaling is going to just make the movie look less dangerous and clean. If it
I hear
changes
you.
the aesthetic,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and
I
that's
hope
not
they're
a
not going to
4K
apply.
issue.
I hope that yeah, they're not going to apply like denoising and shit, are they? Because I want that true film grain grit to come through. I don't like when they denoise shit
less
at
than
all.
0% chance that Scream Factory would ever do something like that.
Okay.
Less than 0% chance. Anthony O'Donnell with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the $5. I tell you what,
Top 10 slashers. Okay.
Top 10 slash.
I think number 10 is going to be Valentine.
Valentine at number 10? Valentine at number 10. Explain yourself. You know how many great slasher films there are, and you just put Valentine in your top 10.
Valentine is a fantastic slasher.
Tell me about it.
I just noticed the music for the first time.
oh man,
Oh,
thank
man.
you, Anthony. Do you think they will ever release the Nightmare on Elm Street movies in 4K UHD? Brandon, I think you'll agree with this. This is what I think. I think next year is the 40th anniversary of the original Nightmare on Elm Street, which
Holy
is
shit.
which is better than The Burning, by the way. But anyway, if we don't get something next year for the 40th, fucking pack it up. We're done. We're never getting any more. I'm serious. I'm serious. If we don't get something for the 40th anniversary of one of the greatest horror films ever made, and I'm not just saying that because I got a wall of shit back there. Who's gonna tell me I'm wrong when I say that A Nightmare on Elm Street is one of the greatest horror films ever made?
Yeah, you know what's special about it too, Christian, is it's the celebration of the 40th year of the first film and the 30th year of the final film, technically, because New Nightmare was 94. So really the series ended with that film. You know, that mainline franchise.
That's right.
So the whole encompassing series, you could celebrate next year if you wanted to. They should re-release the whole damn thing 4K. The entire series.
Let me break this down for the audience again. And thank you very much for the $5, Anthony. I appreciate that. I almost wonder if the audience, give me a thumbs up if you want this, or a thumbs down if you don't, and then elaborate. Because more time has gone past and because technology has gotten a certain way, I think some people are saying, when are we? They're not even saying Blu-rays, Brandon. They're saying, when are we getting Elm Street 4Ks? Right? They're not even saying Blu-rays anymore. That culture's changing. I almost wonder if the audience in this chat right now would agree. It's not so much getting 4K UHDs, but just getting upscaled versions of the movies in a collection that's worthy of the franchise. I think if I was going to place a bet, the audience might say, I'm not worried necessarily about just having 4Ks. What I want is the sister box set to the Friday the 13th one that Scream Factory put out. I want A Nightmare on Elm Street and put it in a set and make it like this. Give me the first 3 with 4K scans, do 2K scans for 4 and 5, with making 5 uncut with HD inserts. Take it right from the Laserdisc if you don't have the stuff. We could do a 2K scan, and we could do 2K scans for Freddy's Dead and make it true 3D, because they did that with Friday the 13th Part 3. But then again, I don't even think the Freddy's Dead one was really shot for true 3D, just that red and green. Regardless, make Freddy's Dead and New Nightmare 2K scans. Make them look crisp, clean, vibrant. And throw Freddy versus Jason in the box set again if you want. And put the remake in there. And for the people that say, I get it, but do you want the Nightmare on Elm Street collection or do you not? Because you got to take it with the bad.
Tons of special features, attention to detail, love and care.
I know people that are like, I know people that are like, I hate the Friday the 13th remake. I don't care about that. I hate Freddy versus Jason. Look, I've become a bigger fan of Freddy versus Jason after reading the book that the great Dustin McNeil wrote on all. And thank you, Dustin. He's hooked me up with some of his books that he's authored. I've gotten such a different opinion on Freddy versus Jason, Brandon, because some of these scripts that were talked about for Freddy versus Jason were so bad, we should be counting our lucky stars. We got the movie we got. I'm not
I
kidding.
still say, yeah, we're absolutely lucky we got the film we got. We're lucky that film exists at a base level in the first place.
Yeah.
But you're right, because no matter what happens, 4K or not, the Halloween and Friday the 13th box sets are still two of I think the best box sets I've ever owned. So if Nightmare makes one that's even in the same league as those, I'd be happy about that.
And so it's so much time has come by. It's like there's just like this impending, like, dude, it's gonna rock the house when if it finally happens. Now,
would it be through Scream Factory, or do you think New Line would do it themselves?
It's either gonna be one or the two, because there's zero chance, less than zero chance, another company would get it. Scream Factory is you got to know that that's their territory, and they're gonna fight tooth and nail for it. You know they are. The question is, when and where, right? You know, where, if it does get boutique, it's going Scream Factory. It's going Scream Factory. And when is the question. Me personally, I think I would rather have the Scream Factory style box set come out and then let New Line do an individual release for the first Nightmare on Elm Street on actual 4K, the same way Paramount did. They licensed out they licensed out the movies to Scream Factory, right? And guess what? Paramount themselves put out a budget-friendly version of the 1 through 8 collection again, which I got because I collect Friday the 13th physical media. And then guess what? Then Paramount said, hey, we're releasing the first Friday the 13th movie on 4K as well. So when people give shit, and I get it, people say Paramount milks Friday the 13th. That's true. But guess what? For people that are getting into physical media, for people that are, let's say Brandon unfortunately has an accident and he loses his stuff, or somebody in the chat, maybe they have a house fire, God forbid, knock on wood, I don't want this to happen to anybody. And let's say you lose your collection. Well, guess what? If I lose my Nightmare on Elm Street 1999 DVD box set, that's going to be difficult to replace. But
yeah, that's eBay.
But Paramount has made it extremely easy for me at any moment in time to be able to own not only the Friday the 13th films on physical media, but at varying degrees and prices. And that's not something to be upset about. Now, I think the aggravation is the feeling of you don't want to have to buy it, but you also don't want to miss out on it. Like, and I get that, the FOMO, or just, damn it, like, it's Friday the 13th, but I just bought a goddamn Scream Factory box set. Why are they putting this out on 4K? I just got a box set with a 4K Blu-ray scan. I get it. I'm in a different position, and it's a weird position, but I genuinely collect Friday the 13th on physical media, all formats. VHS, I've got beta tapes, I've got laser discs, I've got CEDs. So that's it's a personal hobby of mine to collect Friday stuff on physical media, to catalog it and to keep it. But I just think there's the other side of the coin of Paramount makes it possible at any moment in time for you to get the movies on physical media. And I don't think that's something to be really upset about. I mean, would you rather Nightmare be in that position or the position they're in now? Would you rather them be milked totally or have nothing? I'd rather be milked. You know what I mean? So,
question: do you like that little tiny box set that we do have about Nightmare? Not even a box set; it's just like the little black thing that has all the movies in it, 1 through 7. Do you like the quality of the scans on that? Or are you not really a fan?
This one?
Yes.
It's not terrible. It's just, by today's standards, it's not good enough anymore. I mean, there's so much rich detail that it's not cutting through with these scans. By standards of a Blu-ray, it's nothing to complain about, but by today's standards, it's not good enough. These movies are gorgeous. The Nightmare films, there's so much artistry in every movie. The gothic, could you, like, Brandon, I'm telling you, if we can get a new 2K scan, and I'm being reasonable with this by saying a 2K scan, if we could get a clean, well done 2K scan from the original camera negative for Nightmare 5, and let's just take out uncut. Let's just say it's cut, right? Or the theatrical version. imagine the rich detail you'd be able to see when Alice has the dream where she's in the cathedral, the church, and the light shining through the window, the what do you call it, the broken glass. There's so much detail in there that we're not getting because it's a dark lit scene and you have to have fresh, clean, high scans to be able to access all that detail. Otherwise it gets lost in the image. Like
Yeah.
there's so much about the Nightmare that's what really kills me. It's not like it, like, no disrespect, it's not like these are the Scream movies or nothing. Like those movies are great looking, but like these movies, there's so much detail in the imagery, and it just sucks that we're not getting that. Because it'll be like, I guarantee you, Brandon, when this comes out, when it happens, we get new scans for these Elm Street films. It's gonna be like people are seeing these movies for the very first time again. Because they're gonna see it like the veil has been lifted off. It's gonna be incredible, you know. I
Yeah.
don't know. It just sucks.
Well, I'm
man.
excited. I want that to happen sooner or later. Sooner than later, I mean. You know?
Me too. And it's like, I just think if we can hold on a little bit longer, we can hold on a little bit longer. I mean, we need it. We need it so bad. So, but anyway, Brent, we're at an hour and a half. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up this lovely Saturday night?
Are you excited about Ghostbusters?
I'm always excited about Ghostbusters.
The one that's supposedly coming out in December. I really don't want it to get pushed back, man. I want it to come out in December. I think that'll be the saving grace of the year, or not the saving grace, but the nice cherry on top. You know what I mean?
I just need the movie to not have an incredibly sad ending, because I can't rewatch Afterlife because of it. It breaks me down every time. I cry like a bitch.
I can't believe how good that Egon. Well, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Afterlife yet. I guess the CG Egon was so impressive to me. It blew my fucking mind how real that looked. You know, like it did not look like CG to me. It looked like he was on set.
Yeah, and that's what
totally
made it
blown
so
away by that shit. It was insane. Yeah, I know. I hear you. I just don't want them to kill off any of the OG cast. And you know, like I don't want Dan Aykroyd to die, Ernie Hudson to die. I guess Bill Murray's not even in the fucking movie, so whatever there, I guess. But I hear you. Yeah, I don't want a sad ending. I want a good, uplifting 80s song type dancing in the street ending.
Exorcist 4K is coming out this October. That makes sense because the new movie's coming out. That's another way we would get a new Elm Street box set, Brandon, if the new movie was coming out, because then they feel that's a way to promote the new movie is by putting the old movies on the shelf. That's standard.
Maybe they'll announce that too. They'll announce the remake.
I don't know. I kind of hope it doesn't happen anymore. I'm pretty much over it. But Brent, are you an Exorcist 3 fan?
I am. Yes, I haven't bought the 4K yet, but Exorcist 3 is great.
I want to ask the chat this: if there's anybody that's psychotic out there like me, I love The Exorcist. I really do, Brandon. To me, The Exorcist 3 is the greatest Exorcist film I've ever seen.
I would agree in a certain way. The Exorcist 3 is more fun to watch. It's more interesting of a film. I think The Exorcist 1 is still one of the scariest films I've ever seen. It's one of the scariest films out there. I think it's scarier than Exorcist 3. But Exorcist 3 is a more fun movie.
See, I hear you.
I mean, fun in the wrong way, but it's just more interesting to watch.
I'm totally the opposite on what you said in one sentence. You said the first Exorcist movie is scarier to me than 3. The first Exorcist movie, I'm incredibly entertained by it. Right? I think it's a masterpiece, Tubular Bells, everything. William Friedkin's one of America's greatest directors. But I think that The Exorcist 3 is fucking terrifying. And there is an uneasiness the entire movie that is, to me, unmatched. Unmatched. Yeah. I fucking love it. I still get creeped out. And I love George C. Scott in Exorcist 3. He's so good and he shows so much emotion because he has to be a hard ass. He has to be there's moments in Exorcist 3 where he breaks down for a few seconds and he has to stop himself because of the position he's in. As you know, the chief of police or whatever, the lead homicide detective and investigator. You remember the moment where he's in the back room with some of the doctors and they're talking about the Gemini killer, and like he has already talked to Brad Dourif and he's like, tell them the Gemini's alive. And he's arguing with these guys and he's just like, he tells them all to shut up and he breaks down. And then literally he has to like take a second to stop himself. Like, I fucking love Exorcist 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I know I'm gonna get crucified. I get that. That's my Dr.
No, I think a lot of people
Sleep for Nick. That's my Dr. Sleep, if you will.
I think a lot of people are coming around to Exorcist 3. You know what I mean? Because there are points in the first Exorcist that do get kind of draggy. Legion never really drags. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
As intense as it is. That fucking jump scare still startles the shit out of me.
Dude, I love talking about it because that movie is so sophisticated. It approaches it in a way to say, no. We don't need to do that. We're gonna scare you. We're gonna damage you so psychologically. We're gonna make you feel like God is not there to help you. We're gonna make you feel like evil is the strongest power in the world. We're gonna make you feel like this guy, George C. Scott, who clearly is a man that has conviction and he doesn't back down. When you're going to see a man like this get scared, that's going to make you so uneasy. We don't need to jump scare you so that when it happens, it is the most insane jump scare ever. Because they literally set the whole movie up to say, no, we're not going to do that. We don't need to do it. I think that might be the greatest jump scare in history. At least one of them. Maybe not the biggest one, but certainly one of them.
It might be the best. I think the Jaws one is the scariest and the most abrupt for me. But
which jump scare are we talking about?
The zombie, or not the zombie? Yeah, the body that comes out of the window with the eyeball.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something, Brandon? There are days, where I say to myself, the greatest horror film, and I consider it a horror film, of course, because it scares the shit out of you. The greatest horror film is Jaws.
Yeah.
There are days where I say that.
Are there ever days where you say to yourself that Jaws 2 is one of the best slasher movies out there?
I get the categorization of it because of the way the movie really is. It's a body count movie in a sense, right? I think it's the perfect kind of sequel in a way. We can't top the original. Let's be a little silly in certain aspects. I mean, come on. When he goes, come on, you son of a bitch, say ah, that's funny to me. But it's a great ending.
Yeah. Jaws 2 is so well shot too.
That's getting a 4K this year.
Is it? No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
And here's something, I don't care if you agree with me or not. Jaws 2 has the best poster of the franchise.
It does. It does. The painting of the shark behind the girl jets. She's jet skiing? No, she's just skiing.
Coming July 4th. That image
is so freaky. I'm stoked.
Dude, you gotta get.
I'm reviewing those movies for July 4th. Yeah, I'm getting that shit for sure.
Dude, now I want to watch Jaws.
Yeah. Part 2 is killer.
Can we talk about
Part 2 looks so good.
Can we talk about Jaws: The Revenge?
We can, and we shall.
I like Jaws: The Revenge. I'm going to tell you why. The whole movie is about the mother who is kind of having delusions. She's having schizoaffective delusions. I'm no psychiatrist, so I'm playing internet doctor. But I think the movie is set up to where I don't think the audience is truly. This is just my opinion. I don't think we, the audience, are really supposed to believe that a shark can do like mafia style revenge on the Brodies. I don't think they want the audience to think that. I think that the mom is slowly losing her mind and these are ridiculous delusions she's having. And it doesn't translate that well to screen very well because she doesn't. If there were scenes where she would if they showed the mom, if they had scenes in Jaws 4 where they showed the mom maybe forgetting one of the kids' names or repeating herself a couple times, like she's having almost like an Alzheimer type thing, just something to show that she's kind of losing a little bit of herself, then I could really justify the mom's having delusions. But
Yeah.
that's the way I justify Jaws 4. And maybe it's just because I really like the film, so I'm trying to make it make sense. Guilty is charged. But I don't know, does that make sense to you where I'm coming from?
Yeah. It does. I think Jaws: The Revenge is a fucking crackhead movie. I love and hate the film. I go back and forth. It is the weirdest movie, one of the weirdest films ever made, certainly the weirdest movie in the franchise. The fact that it's like set around Christmas time is weird. It's such a darkly shot film. Like it just doesn't, like even the scenes that take place in the daytime, they don't look like bright, sunny, cheerful. They look gray and washed out. I don't know. It's just it's a fucking weird movie. Why is Michael Caine in that movie? Why does the shark roar? What is happening?
Tell me that roar isn't badass, though. Lawn Furniture says, pretty sure there was this whole ridiculous voodoo aspect in the original script or novel. Oh, that's hysterical. See, I want to look into that now. But see, Lawn Furniture, I'd be into that. Like, if there's a voodoo curse on the shark, sign me up. You know what I mean? Sign me
the
up.
Next movie, Voodoo Shark.
Now, Brandon, have you seen Jaws 5, a.k.a. Cruel Jaws?
I have not.
Oh, God. That was a big...
Remember, you guys sent me the link to that on YouTube, but I have not watched it now.
Hold on.
Turning into a street shark. That's awesome.
This almost got Severin shut down.
Wow.
You see that?
Yeah.
So I say that, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. Long story short, Jaws 5, aka Cruel Jaws, is the unofficial 5th Jaws movie.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is insanely ridiculous. They use actual images and some clips from Jaws. Stole them. Right? The movie is amazing. It's hysterical. There's like a Hulk Hogan lookalike. See this guy right there? It's a Hulk Hogan lookalike. So this movie is like this legendary thing, right? So Severin announces that they're putting it out. They put out Cruel Jaws on Blu-ray. A few weeks later, it's gone from the website. Universal catches wind about this. Now, this is all speculation from stuff I've heard, Brandon. Because this is nobody's ever disclosed this. And the people that I talk to is private sources. I'm not going to say on the internet. Universal probably got wind about this movie getting released. Well, guess what? Universal owns the distribution of Jaws. Cruel Jaws has footage from Jaws in it. They pulled the plug, and there was a lot of speculation, ladies and gentlemen in the audience that are into physical media. There was a lot of speculation that when Drop Dead Fred got announced from Severin, and then mysteriously that got sent away, and all of a sudden Vinegar Syndrome announced that they were putting out Drop Dead Fred. There's a lot of people that are thinking maybe Vinegar Syndrome did something to help Severin out in the midst of the Cruel Jaws debacle. So Drop Dead Fred was like a payback. There's speculation about this, guys. So if you own Cruel Jaws, and if you have it with the slipcover, you are a world-class human being. So, Brandon, there's your history lesson of the
All
night.
right,
Crazy
That's
year when this happened.
Yeah, that's insane. But you brought up Drop Dead Fred. I'm assuming this is no longer in print for Vinegar Syndrome because I love that movie and I need that on Blu-ray.
Let's see.
Is that a newer thing or is that an older thing?
A couple years.
That Vinegar.
All right, let's go to Vinegar Syndrome's website. Let's go. I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah, because I've never seen it.
Want
on
to go
Vinegar
shopping in
Syndrome.
the chat? Let's go shopping on the chat. All right, Brad, let me screen share. Yes, it is. It's also called Jaws 5, Cruel Jaws. All right, Brad, here we go. We'll look up Drop Dead Fred. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Brad, did you pick up Showgirls?
I did not. Did you?
Me neither. No, of course not. All the good scenes are on Pornhub. All right, here we go. Oh, dude, it's on sale.
It is on sale.
$24.99.
I've never seen this on the website before.
Dude, look, you can get the slipcover, which I don't like, but you can get that. For $24.99, you can get Drop Dead Fred, Phoebe Cates.
Fucking
hey, isn't Princess Leia in this movie?
She is. She is.
That's right.
Her house gets sunk. It's always crazy to me that Drop Dead Fred is one of the dudes in the bar at the at American Werewolf in London at the Slaughtered Lamb. He's one of the patrons. It always blows my mind.
Oh, Jaden says that the slips, limited edition slip. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very faint, but right here you see, Brandon, it's out of stock. I don't think you care about the slip cover anyway.
No.
But yeah, dude, look, Drop Dead Fred's on there.
That's
now, Brandon,
awesome.
here's one of the best movies from Vinegar Syndrome. Dolly Dearest.
Dolly Dearest. You and
Dude,
Dolly Dearest, man.
It's a good movie. There's only 122 left. But yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Here's another. Let me go grab this other shark movie real quick.
Apologies to everybody in the chat for how glitchy and pixelated I look tonight. On my end, I look like I'm fine, but we've been having really bad Spectrum internet issues. So I can see in the actual window that I just look pixelated and glitchy. So apologies to everybody about that. I'll try to get that corrected before tomorrow's stream.
What happened, Brandon?
This is like right now on our feed, I look fine. But like when I switch over to the actual browser and see what the feed actually looks like to everybody else, I look so glitchy and pixelated.
Yeah,
like I'm lagging and stuff, and I don't know what's going on. But my internet has been kaput all week. Like Spectrum is having some kind of weird situation where our Wi-Fi is bad. I'm hot wired into it, but even this is like it's just I don't know what's going on here.
Dude,
I'm gonna try and call them tomorrow and get it corrected because I'm usually not known for having really bad internet. You know what I mean? Like
I think I've been solid as a rock tonight. You know?
Yeah, yours has been fine. I have no idea
yeah.
what's going on here. Pisses me off.
Now, I haven't even opened this up, Brandon. I haven't brought myself to watch it. Deep Blood.
Wow. That looks pretty fucking freaky.
It's directed by Federico Slaninsko, 1990.
Is that from 88 Films?
Severin. So, Brandon, so you basically did tell people tomorrow night, me and you are going to go to Garrett's channel. We're going to be talking non-horror movie soundtracks.
It's going to be fun.
And then we're going to do another version called horror movie soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be on my channel.
Right.
And then we're going to do horror movie snacks on Brandon's channel.
That's right. It's going to be a double feature. It's going to be horror movie snacks and then the best video game soundtracks. 2 episodes in a row. 6 hours worth of live streaming all at once.
It's on Born to Be Rad channel, JG Michael. It's going to be non-horror soundtracks. So, all right, guys, this has been a hell of a show, a good show. We covered a lot. Brad, why don't you just kind of give people the rundown of the topics covered tonight?
We covered Alice in Chains. We covered the Jaws franchise. We covered The Burning versus Friday the 13th. We covered the need for a good Nightmare on Elm Street box set before it's too late. We covered all kinds of weird shit. What else did we cover? That's pretty much it.
Dead Fred covered Drop Dead.
Drop
Fred.
Dead Fred. We covered Black Sabbath. We covered all kinds of stuff.
We covered Black Rose's soundtrack. Horror magazines. A lot of good stuff.
Horror magazines. Yeah. By the way, speaking of that, real quick, I'll throw this out there before we end. My Books a Million around here does not carry Fangoria anymore. Like, it's just not in print, I guess.
My Barnes and Nobles does.
Hmm.
And I was so happy because usually the storefront cover art is a lot worse than the subscriber cover art. But I lucked out because the storefront cover art was Renfield and the subscriber cover art was Evil Dead Rise. And I was like, oh, hell no. I'd much rather have Renfield's cover art.
Yeah.
Tonight's was fun as hell. Even debates are full of nothing but love. Horror fans are the best people. Well, here's the thing too, Richard Strange. I love when people not only give their opinion. I think one of the big problems sometimes, Brandon, is you'll see some people that like see it like somebody or like disagree with them in the chat, and they're reading it very bluntly when they're probably just saying, "I don't like that. I feel the other way." So it's like these are our viewers. It's like somebody's gonna come in here and just want to argue with me. It's like no, they're giving their opinion. Yeah, but that comes with age, dude. I'm 31 now. It's like if I haven't figured out how to fucking talk to people yet, like I need to just go crawl in a fucking hole. Dude, I'm so excited about Brandon's excited about Subspecies 5. He saw the trailer for it. He liked it.
Yeah, it looks really good. Somehow.
They spent money.
Yeah. Fucking A.
So, guys, I want to say one more time, if you could all do me a favor, I'd really appreciate it. It's not a channel I can make a penny off of, so it has nothing to do about that. I just really want you guys to be able to enjoy some of the stuff I'm doing over there. Go to Radio CHH. Look me up on YouTube. I'm doing vinyl rips, high quality vinyl rips. I've got an interface. I'm plugging my vinyl player in to the thing, and I'm doing high quality vinyl rips of songs from the 80s, great bands, also songs from movies, horror movies and not. I'm actually going to be doing the Freddy's Nightmares vinyl soundtrack. I'm going to rip that soundtrack so people can hear it. They can hear the music from the TV show. That's coming. So go check that out. Radio CHH. Subscribe to me there. Thank you for a decade plus on my channel, Planet CHH. It's awesome. Brandon, you want to let people know where they can find you? Tabata
They
Vision.
can find me at Tabata Vision. Yep, youtube.com/Tabata Vision. I will be there. It's going to be a slow week this week.
I love the fact that you said it like that. Not that's where you can find me. It's like go to Tabata Vision. I will be there. Like
I will.
If you show up,
I'm always live. It's like a video store.
That's funny.
It's
All right,
like
go
a
ahead.
video store. No, it's going to be a slow week because I have some unboxing videos coming out, and I'm trying to write a bunch of content for Era 5 of Just a Thought because I just finished Era 4. I'm trying to get a whole new thing together.
I'm going to say this really quick, Brandon, on live. I have, and for the audience to know, I have personally given Brandon, I think, good ideas for Just the Thoughts, and he's yet to follow through.
There's two of them, right? There's the Tom Savini's best work.
We'll say it that way. The audience not only knows about it, but they'll also hold you accountable because
Okay,
I think these are great topics. I really do.
I'll add these to Era 5.
Tom Savini's best creation. And I think this is the coolest Just a Thought. And I don't have an answer. So I'm really excited to see where Brandon takes it. You guys ready for this? A Just a Thought that I want Brandon to do on how did Connell Cochran get Stonehenge to the factory? I mean, dude, that is I blew my own mind coming up with that idea.
He flipped his own lunch tray.
I flipped my own lunch tray because I was like, dude, that I can't wait to see. Because Brandon, I don't want you to just be like, oh, they grabbed it and they just like they airlifted it. They couldn't have done that, because like somebody would have saw that. I need to know how they did it.
Right.
I need to know.
Okay.
You remember what? And you have to remember what he said in the film. We had a time getting it here. You wouldn't imagine how we did it. You have to remember he said that.
Okay.
All right.
You guys heard it here. I will be held accountable. Era 5, Just a Thought, will have those two topics, I promise. It'll be a good time too.
It will. I love the Just the Thoughts because they get me thinking as well.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for another live of Planet Dirty, the Generalized show. You guys were awesome. We'll leave you with this.
It's always been Creepshow 2. One that we have is great value, so it's a Creepshow 2 also to me just feels like that perfect 80s time capsule. You know what I mean? Like with the Firebird and the second sequence and all that stuff. The one that we have is great value, so it's a Walmart brand. It'll flip your lunch tray.